Hello, and welcome back to the Proving Culture sessions. In the first three sessions, we explored the idea of workplace culture to create an image for assessors to look for when identifying workplace culture. We provided an overview of current and future ISO standards expectations for workplace culture, quality culture, safety culture. We We'll begin now with a series of sessions taking deeper dives into some of the concepts and materials we introduced in those early sessions, along with some other uh, pathways to hopefully deepen our understanding and awareness for the tools available to prove culture is in place and working in your organization. Let's get started with a deeper dive into ISO 10010-2022 by first looking at definitions of culture and quality culture. Let's begin to see the alignment to my statement attributable to Amy Edmondson in the first session. This workplace culture is the invisible force of shared beliefs, norms, and behaviors that determine whether employees feel safe to speak up, take risks, and collaborate openly. Okay, she put that together completely outside of the ISO world. So let's get back into our ISO world. And we see that the definition straight out of 10,010 uh, align quite well. Shared values, belief, history, ethics, attitudes, and observed behaviors. Great. That's what they understand culture to be. So we're aligned there. And then for a quality culture, it's how do we use that to support achievements in quality policy objectives, delivery of products and services that meet the needs and expectations of customers and relevant interested parties. Okay, how are we going to accomplish that and use this thing called quality culture to get there? Six key principles or fundamental concepts that have been part of ISO 9001 for many years include leadership, continual improvement, goals and objectives, customer focus, mission, vision, values, and a risk-based thinking environment. So these are all concepts or principles that need a workplace quality culture to succeed. So they've always been there. So there's always been this idea or notion of a strong workplace culture helps achieve quality success. And just because the 10,010 standard came out in 2022, a few years back, workplace culture has always been somewhat of an expectations. So it becomes quite clear that it's been there for a long time. There's just now more tools for implementers to design and maintain for success. When an organization sets out to plan for using quality culture, we're naturally attracted to clause 6 of any ISO standard. In this case, clause 6.2 of 10,010 provides a roadmap for what will be measured and how. How do we see success? The old suggestion box is one of those that they have listed. For those old enough to remember, uh, those suggestion boxes on the way in or the way out doors by the punch clock. Yeah, yeah, that thing with the little padlock on it. Yeah, we remember. Well, technology communications of people have progressed quite a bit from the days of the box on the wall. There are a lot of tools to evaluate engagement beliefs, norms, and behaviors. That's what we're looking for, and their results. For an organization, they can include a variety of interviews, consultations, surveys, and tools like the safety maturity matrices we discussed in session 2. that may even give us an image of risks involved with participation and engagement. So we're trying to measure that, right? Modern workplaces still use bulletin boards. They still have squid boards to capture dialogue among interested parties. Some may even now have posters with QR codes for quick pulse surveys that can be orchestrated along a quality culture journey. Then there are more traditional and existing resources to assess culture, including nonconformity findings, incident reports, customer complaints, recalls, audit reports, and KPI performance. All of these can be metrics for identifying culture and measuring progress and success. These provide measurable results for any interested party, including auditors. So let's include all those existing measures of a quality management system. For example, nonconformity findings and corrective actions. Are they more robustly, more effectively, more timely addressed because of the level of engagement and participation? Customer complaints, are they embraced and acted upon instead of the old shrugs? Well, we can't fix that. Even more so, recalls. How does your team respond to a recall? Positively, neutrally, negatively? So you can see the point here of using some of the performance on that, uh, metrics for time to resolve nonconformity findings or recalls is a good measure of the culture of the organization. So Clause 8 of any ISO standard provides a framework for how operational control may be applied, managed, and regulated to drive an organization to success against KPIs and interested parties' expectations. ISO 10010 takes us there by defining 7 actions to drive a desired quality culture. Now, we saw this slide in one of the earlier sessions. I literally just copied it and changed the title slide to operational controls. So let's take a few minutes to create an image for some of these, as they're very important. They're observable actions that take place across an organization. They will often begin with charters, action plans, or committees to define expectations, timeframes, and responsible parties for their success. They can all be observed at any point in their progress by internal and external auditors to provide a moment in time snapshot for the development of workplace quality. So let's take a quick look at just a few. Maintaining effective communication to celebrate quality management success. Is the word getting out there in a variety of formats that do engage your workforce? And the way we communicate is evolving and changing in a lot of digital and social media, even internal social media, how information gets posted and shared. Training for both top management and wider workforce. Certainly training on the concept of culture and what it means to the organization and going on this journey. Everyone needs some training. Are you seeing that training is getting out to all parties? Setting individual quality culture objectives, what a variety of roles and responsibilities, organizational chart levels, you know, are there expectations for what you intend to achieve and contribute to uh, workplace quality culture? So, keeping our auditors' hats on here, ISO 10010 provides a couple of useful examples for evaluating the quality culture of an organization. Something special for the evaluators right in the guidance standard. Annex A, Table 1, provides an example survey for organizations with a rubric for rating a series of questions. Annex A, Table A2, shown here, provides another form of self-assessment to gauge desirable versus undesirable conditions of a quality system and the organization operating it. These are tools for implementers, no doubt about it. These are useful tools for evaluators to see that an organization is moving along. Can you ground truth what you're seeing coming from the people to a collective thought, a culture, a norms and beliefs in the organization? So some pretty useful tools right there in the annex of the 10,010 standard. So in this short session, we explored the 10,010 2022 quality culture guidance standard to gain an understanding of concepts for a quality culture, along with the frameworks and tools for an organization to build and maintain quality culture. By understanding this toolbox, anybody tasked with assessment for proving culture can create and deploy an audit plan to offer an independent assessment of quality culture. The ISO standard utilizes the Annex SL framework, just like all the certification standards, including 9001. So it helps us or eases the integration of this standard. You'll see that with others. In another session, I will explore the ISO 45003 psychosocial safety in the workplace standard. You'll see a similar alignment of the formatting for ease of use to those following or implementing the certification standards. So 4 key takeaways that I hope that you get from using the 10,010 standard is the effectiveness for understanding the needs and expectations for culture. Can we identify and measure that? Assessment to identify possible and appropriate actions to take. You know, where are we missing? Where can we do better? Implementation certainly of the action plans and charters for culture. Are they on the ground running and proving themselves out and getting out into the workforce in all sorts of roles and responsibilities? And then performance driving workplace culture can all be captured and evaluated. So ISO auditors are not just tasked with assessing compliance to each step in the process. Rather, they're tasked with tying it all together. The words we use, suitable, adequate, and effective, can be applied here to support organizations with an independent review of the efforts and results of quality culture implementation. We hope that you enjoyed this session of the Proving Culture series. Stay tuned to the Proving Culture YouTube channel at Proving Culture for more sessions. In another session, we will take a look and a tour through the ISO 45003 Psychosocial Safety in the Workplace guidance standard to provide a similar framework for auditors working in the OHS platform to help organizations prove their safety culture. With coming changes to both ISO 9001 and 45001 standards, having greater expectations for workplace culture, we hope this series will prepare everyone for this exciting performance driver now being recognized as such.